What's going on, everybody? Nobody there. Nobody's watching my stream, but I'm live anyway, and I'm full of spaghetti and ice cream. Hello. Going to look at some samples in a minute here. Alrighty then. I want to get a sample. I've got here this little thing here. This is some moss and dirt. Oh, I'm watching the stream on my phone here just to see how it streams, which is weird. I got a spinny thing on my screen. Well, whatever. Stupid YouTube app. Doesn't work so great on Android all the time. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take a sample out of this, kind of out of the center, just the water here. Not a lot of moss material on this one. I'm just going to put it right in here on the slide. You see that slide's got a little dip in the center there. So we can put a giant bubble. Oh, there we go. That would not have been fun to try and look at. There we go. Put it onto the microscope. I'm going to switch scenes here. Slide it on. There we go. On the first objective, let's go all the way to the top. See what we can see. That looks like something dead. Some of these, oh, I forgot I need to close this. Some of these samples have been sitting in these little containers for a couple of days. There's some things flying around in there. Little bugs. Little bugs. Itty bitty bugs. Focus a little bit. So I have to constantly focus too, because as I travel through the drop, the concave, floor, glass floor of what I'm looking at is always going to be at a different height as I'm moving around. That looks like something. Oh no, it's just sand, I think. Shake it around. No, that's just sand. Let's see. Yep. Oh, oh, what do you got there? Little lumpy thing. Yep, this is the sample where I find these little guys. There's a guy there too. This is the sample where I find the little lumpy things. The only difference between this sample and the other moss sample I have is that this one, I think, has a slightly different species of moss in it because it was a lot brighter green than the other one, the first one. And the first one I got had a lot of worms in it. A lot of little larvae things. This, it almost looks like a snail at times. Could it be a tiny snail? I don't know. I don't know. I've been watching a lot of that botanist guy from Chicago. Hey, he'll he'll look at a plant and tell you the Latin name for it with his thick street Chicago accent. It's great. It's kind of rubbing off on me. I've been watching too much of that guy. Anyway, Looks like a little lumpy balls. Two little lumpy fuzzy balls. Yeah, I don't know. I don't do the I don't do the accent justice. Look at this guy. He's a snail. I say he's a snail. Nah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe he's not a snail. Somebody knows what it is. He looks like a snail to me. Um, Look at that. He's like a little vacuum cleaner. You see his little cleaning hair, his little rotary brush there on the front. There's something obscuring the view right in the center, which I hate that. That really bothers me right here at this view. But I need him to move around a little bit more out of that area to see him better. There's another little lumpy thing. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I think he's got a really interesting shape. It's not a snail. I don't know what it is. I really don't. Oh, there he goes. He really likes that piece of moss or whatever that is right there. He's just cleaning it right up. He seems to be pretty good in here. I found so many of these guys in this one little sample already, you know. They do pretty well. And and all I did was take some moss that was growing on dirt and put it in water and wait for a few hours because we're trying to reanimate water bears. That's what we're trying to do. This is not a water bear. I don't know what it is. Maybe somebody could tell me what it is. I don't know. This looks kind of gross. Ooh, gelatinous and bubbles. You got some bubbles, some microscopic bubbles right there. You know you like those bubbles. They make you feel nice. Are they pretty good? Hey, you should share this stream. Whoever's watching this stream, you should share it with your friends on social media so other people can see these little. What the heck is going on over here? You see this? Try not to shake it too much. What is this little dude doing? They're like little ticks. They're like little lice. I don't know what they is. Oh, look at you. Oh, hello. Goodbye. Sometimes they get a little verklempt. Yeah, this guy is digging on. He looks like a little itty bitty version of the lumpy guy to me. Sorry, I'm getting all close. I'm looking at my screen. He looks like a little version of that. It's kind of interesting. Alright. He's hard to look at though. He's too small. I'm really looking for water bears. I haven't found no water bears yet. I'd like to see a nice amoeba. Something like that. That'd be nice to see. I haven't seen nothing like that yet. I have seen parameciums, bacteriums, and all kinds of other things I cannot identify because I am not a scientist. There is another lumpy guy, a little lumpy guy. They're pretty cool. Pretty cool to look at. Oh, wait a minute. Are you the normal lumpy guy or are you different? Should move around a lot. Uh, I believe that's a paramecium. He really likes. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. I don't know. There's the two types, shapes, basic shapes of paramecium. This would be the second type if it is that. Would be the less common one, I guess. He's hard to look at. He keeps moving. But yeah, it's basically like a kind of potato shaped thing. Bye, little bug. It's nice knowing you. Hey, look. Hey, look over here. There's another little potato. A little lumpy potato thing. I mean, these things are everywhere. Another couple of them. Couple of lumpy potato things. They like to eat something off of sand. This one looks like he's just chowing down on moss. On a chunk of moss right there. Right in the center of your screen. And then the other one up there. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, another little lumpy snail looking thing. They look like little snails. and they can be kind of fast and kind of hard to track. And sometimes they just go around in circles like this. It's pretty cool. Yeah. So, oh look, there's a worm-looking thing again. This is one of the first things I found, was a worm-looking thing like this. That's like an inchworm kind of thing. I actually don't know if it's a worm or a larva or a rotifer. I don't think it's a rotifer. I think it's actually not. Because the one time I did get a rotifer, you can clearly see his head, his little sweepers, or whatever you call them. Anyway, that worm wants to be underneath something. So, yep, I usually just come here through here and scan until I find something interesting. If I find anything interesting, and I usually record it. Right now, of course, I'm just streaming, I'm not recording. But that's okay. Trying something new. Share with the friends. Put it on Facebook. Put it on Instagram. Tell them Monkey Puppet sent you. Put it on the Twitters. Guess. I don't like the Twitters much. Just a bunch of people screaming at each other, calling each other baby killers and Russian bots and whatnot. People don't know shit. People don't. There's some people on there who like to get truth and facts, and other people who just don't. But you know, whatever. Sometimes a good place to get news, sometimes not. Depends on where you get it from. Oh. Hey, look, a lumpy thing. There you go, little lumpy guy. I'm just gonna take myself off here and I'm gonna put the lumpy thing on for a second. Just follow him around for a minute. There goes a paramecium. Those ones, I usually don't try to follow them, they're too fast. They're not as slow as these guys. These are about the fastest thing that I want to try to track. So I got to move the stage around on the microscope. There's two knobs, one goes side to side, one makes it go kind of up and down or whatever. Forward, back, I guess. And yeah. Man, what happened? He freaked out. Did you see that? He flipped out. He said, nah, fuck this. I'm coming over here. And I'm gonna go eat this little itty bitty piece of moss. No, that didn't taste so good. It didn't taste as good as that other one you were on, huh? What about this big giant one right over here? It's right there in front of you. Go get it. Oh, swimming around in circles. Why? I don't get it. I lost him. That's alright. There's about 5 or 6 of them in this little drop of water. At least. Anyway. Yeah. So, I'm gonna go back to the other sample. Let's go back to the first sample. Get a lot more worms out of this one. I got another slide over here. Okay. Switching out slides. Try not to make a mess, spill, drops, water on anything. Slide that in there. Get ourselves situated. Now I expect to find worms and dead things. Worms and dead things in this one. There we go. What do we got? Looks very similar to before, but look, there's a worm. There is a worm. Now, like I said, I'm looking for worms and dead things because I expect there to be some. Wow, there's a worm. Hello. Hello. What are you doing up here on the surface of the water? Are you really that light and buoyant? OMG. Look at that. He's got like a little, he's got something trailing on you there. I usually don't see these guys floating around like that. I usually see him anchored to the glass, but since he's not, he was probably, excuse the motorcycle guy, he was probably anchored to a piece of moss before I sucked him up and put him on the slide. And now he can't figure out what to do next. Well, you know. Anyway, so I'm all the way at the top. Scan over. Scan over, see if we find anything. Focus. Focus, you. It's a common YouTube saying. Down here. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. Went the wrong way. I took a wrong turn at Albuquerque. There we go. Now I see some swimming things. There we go. There's all these little guys in here. Oh, look. There's a dead thing right there. I see a dead thing. Oh, yeah, and all these little guys in here. I mean, this one is very active, and these guys kind of... what in the heck is going on here? I didn't even notice this. You see this right in the center here? What the... Is this just a feeding frenzy on something dead? I think that's what that is. Yeah. Yeah, so that's why I'm saying dead things, which is fine if I'm seeing something I haven't seen before, I suppose. Another worm there. Oh, that looks like a... Oh, hello. Oh, yeah, there's a little gnat. You see a bug head just kicking it? There's a gnat drinking this water. A gnat just came in here and started drinking this little drop of water. So you might see a giant bug head popping in, trying to blow him away. He's like digging it. He's like, yeah, this is good water for me. Full of smaller bugs to eat, I'm sure. The gnat probably thinks it's just like food for him. It's interesting. Yeah, there's some dead things floating around and getting eaten. For sure. Very alive. That's just a grain of sand. Again, this is moss growing on dirt. dropped into some water, distilled water, and let soak for several days. And this is what you kind of get. Interesting. And this is the dark field setup on the microscope because, ooh, look at that, looks like a little egg. It looks like an egg. I've seen these before too. I don't know if they are eggs. They look like eggs to me. It's kind of what I imagine a tardigrade egg sort of might look like, but it's hard to know for sure if that's an egg or just a water bubble. Anyway, I like the dark field setup with this. We're looking at these guys because you can see all the colors. I think you can see the bodies against the dark background a little better than the light, which is more like a greenish gray unless you go super bright. All these little bugs everywhere. Something blue, some junk. Yeah. I actually, well, this I took not so much moss, it was more water, because I wanted to see, I was just trying to find some new things, so I'm just taking samples from different areas of the sample, right? So there's not a lot of solid material in here compared to some other samples that I've looked at. It's a little more sparse. So we may not see some larger things. I usually see a lot more worms. I haven't seen any of the little quick worms anymore. I only see these little guys here, these little inchwormy guys. They, yeah, kind of move around on the bottom of the glass like inchworm style. See a lot of those. Here, let me look in here real quick. I always forget to look in there. Another worm thing. So, you know, this one is, I haven't found anything new. This was also the sample that I found the one rotifer in. But I haven't found anything new. Oh, there's another little worm with some moss in his tummy. Another worm there, chewing on some moss. These little worms are everywhere. I quite like the lumpy things a little better, actually. They're a little more interesting. That's a dead something. Looks like a worm. Yeah. So that's pretty much the whole drop there, I think. Not as interesting, I think, as the last one, but still interesting. So I'm just going to prepare another sample here. I had gotten some moss that was growing directly on concrete, I couldn't get much of it because it's stuck to the concrete. I also found some moss growing directly on tree bark, but not very much of it. But we'll look at that real quick. Let's put some drops on the slide. Take the old slide out. The new slide on. Try not to blind myself. Oh, it's bright, man. Dark field obscures the light. The light is coming up from the bottom, you know. The dark field is like a round thing that gives you indirect light, comes into the sides. For some reason, whenever I'm putting a slide on it, I'm trying to look at it, it blinds me. It's really bright. Oh, look. Paramecium right off the bat. I didn't even look. So that looks like classic paramecium. Hopefully, if he settles down and gets out of underneath this thing, I can see him. You can see him. He's probably hungry. It is dinner time. I mean, you know. There he goes. Yeah, he's got that more kind of. It moves weird, but looks like a paramecium to me. Maybe he's a little like, I don't know, put off by the fact that he just got put onto a slide. I don't know, but it's kind of being a little erratic, you know? It's like, dude, what are you doing? Seriously, what is that? What is that? It's like some kind of pattern, little dance he's doing there. There's another, looks like a lumpy thing, or like a paramecium or something. So the two kinds of parameciums is the long, skinny kind that have a kind of like a groove, a twist kind of in their body shape, which I can't really make out here, but he's moving around too much. And then the other second type are a little more potato shaped. But yeah, okay, well, let's scan around a little bit more. Let's see what else we can find in this drop here. There's something moving right there. What is it? Oh, it's just floating. Just floating. Alright. Alright, what else can we find? Nothing over here. I'm starting right at the top of the drop. Top of the drop. Move down. Scan right back over. Oh, find nothing for a minute. So I get into more of the meat of it. This is kind of how I do it. I just scan back and forth until I find something that I can look at. Nothing too exciting there. Yeah. Little itty bitty bugs flying around. Oh, look. We're back to where we started. There's probably a little guy underneath there. Okay. Oh, there he goes. There he is. There's our little friend. Little fast, swirly, roundy guy. Whatever you are. Paramecium is my guess. Yep. He's fast. He's kind of fast. Now, tardigrades are kind of slow. So that's why I'm really expecting that I should find one if there's one to find. Basically. So far, I don't think any of my samples... See, that guy's too fast. I mean, I could sit there and try to follow him around, but oh, look. Okay, here we go. If he's alive, which I can't tell if he is... Ah, yes. Hello, little rotifer. Hello. I don't know. Is he alive? It looks like he's moving his little thingies around, but I can't tell. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, look at the water moving. So difficult to get the little rotifers. The little things at the end, which look like little wheels. He's the wheel bearer. That's rotifer mean. That's what rotifer means. Wheel bearer. And he sits there and cleans the water with his little spinny wheels. And you can see, there you go. Yeah, you can see him sucking up the water. I don't know, maybe that's the thing that I thought was a tardigrade, because he does seem to have the little feet on the bottom, but I don't know. Rotifer. Yep. Yep. You can just barely make him out. He's sucking up water. He's stuck to a piece of moss, and he's out there with his little rotifers, his little wheels. Whoa, I don't know what happened there. I didn't do anything. I don't know what happened. Oh, let's see, there he goes. He just decided to stick out his little rotifers. There's a little one. And there he does it again. That's not the video skipping. That's the rotifer deciding maybe he ate something. He decided to turn his motor off. I think this little guy is pretty damn fascinating. There goes a worm. Goodbye, worm. See, this, I could have just passed this thing up and thought that it was dead, because it wasn't really looking like it was moving. But since I caught that one before, I recognized him. he goes. He's cleaning the water. His little rotifer, you can see it spinning. His little head, his little wheel. Oh, I don't know what he's doing. I think he caught something there. Keeps doing that. And they can slowly spit out your little rotifer. Then now, there you go. Spit it out, and we'll spin it around. We'll suck up some more water. There you go. Oh, you missed that one. Oh, you got some. I don't know. Keeps doing that. I almost missed this guy. This is only the second one I've found, too. He's itty bitty. The other one I found was a little bigger than this. He's so small. I'm on the second objective, and I don't want to switch to the. I don't want to switch to the third one because it'll most likely hit the lens. It's a big bulge of water, you know. I'm not using a cover slip. Oh, try not to bump that table there. That was me shaking the table around. Because he's like, no, don't shake it around. I need to be stable so I can come out here and catch stuff. I don't know. I think this little guy's fascinating. I wish he was bigger so I could see him better, but I think he's great. He's great. Little rotifer. He spins it around so fast. Sitting there just catching food. Stuck to a piece of moss. Hey, you got 3 people watching now. Thank you very much. Hey, you guys should share this on your social media, on your Twitter, on your Instagram, on your Facebook. Instagram's not so good for links. I would say Twitter, Facebook. It's pretty good. Probably not going to stream on Facebook. Probably just going to stick to the YouTube or Twitch or something. Maybe Twitch. I'd have to build an account over there, but you know. Look at his little... Oh! What was that? Did you see that? He can spin it and stop it at will. Something happened. He caught something big or something. I didn't see him catching anything. Oh. He keeps doing that. Anyway. Yeah, I know. I've been sticking on him for a while because he's just really cool to me. He's way cooler than those worms. Much cooler than worms is the little rotifer. Catching things, sucking up the water. You can see as the particles get closer to him, they move faster, and then he either catches them or they miss. I don't know if that's this little guy. Oh, yeah, that's too big. You can't eat that. You're a little guy. You need to get bigger before you can eat something that size. Alright? Alright, let's move on then. We'll keep looking around and see what we can find here. I almost missed that guy though, but see, I'm starting to recognize them. They look like little flowers just hanging off of a piece of moss. It's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. He's pretty cool. Don't you think? Does it make you feel nice? It makes me feel nice. It's pretty good. There's a paramecium. That's what I think is a paramecium. I don't know. He's doing a little dance. doing some kind of little dance. Blue-doop, bloop, 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 blue-doop, blue-doop. Yeah, that's a paramecium for sure. For sure. Yeah, he does a little dance. It's good. It's a little waltz he does there. Or maybe it's like square dancing. I don't know. Um, oh, what is that? What are you? Another paramecium? Yep, I think so. He's a little slow, but he's going around eating stuff. Or it could be a worm. I don't know. It looks like a paramecium or a worm. It's being kind of slow. Being a little bit slow, so that's good because I can see him that better that way. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's go over here. What's over here? Oh, look at you. Doing a little dance. Who are you trying to entertain over here? Oh, me. Okay. Well, that's you doing your job then. Oh, you got two of them. Look at this little guy up here. Oh, so all kinds of little friends in here. All kinds of little bug friends that you wouldn't normally see, you know? So you take some moss off the ground, put it in some water, put it on a microscope with a dark field setup, and you're good. Oh, man. All right. Come over here. What is that? Oh, that's a scratch. That'd be a big old scratch. Oh, what are you? Another paramecium. Now, I think this sample, I'm really surprised by this actually, because this is actually the most amount of these little, what I think are parameciums. I'm guessing, really, I am just guessing. But yeah, I've seen a lot of them, and I haven't seen them in any other samples. Except this one, really. I mean, in numbers like this. Little, little tiny bug. Couple little tiny bugs right there. Eating some moss. One of them's eating some moss. One of them's doing a dance, you know. Yep. This guy, he is just very active. He's going everywhere. Oh, look, there's a buddy. You got two of them. See, this is what you should be seeing. When you see one, you see a lot of them. That's usually the way it goes down with these guys. There's another little one. Right there, a little focus. Focus. Can't because he's swimming all over the place. Alright, hey, you little guys. Hey, look at these guys. They are so... Don't you get dizzy there doing that? I would get dizzy. Trying to swim around like that. I don't know about you, but I'd get dizzy. pretty nice. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna throw out my samples of moss on concrete because there's just nothing in here. There's nothing. I mean, I could try, but I've tried looking at this and there's no worms, there's no parameciums, there's no lumpy things, there's no um, non-tardigrades, there's nothing in there but moss. But I will look. We're gonna look at another one of these samples. This is moss that I found growing on concrete, directly on the concrete. And so I think it's a different kind of moss. And the reason why I'm collecting moss is because tardigrades love moss. And I love tardigrades, I think. I just want to find one. It'd be cool. It would be cool. You know what I mean? So, there we go. Depression slide. You see the little bulge in there. And I'm just going to put some water right on there. And some junk. And then take the slide off. The new slide on. Put it in place. Engage. Well, there's bugs. Now, a lot of these could be cross-contamination because I didn't really clean the slide or use a fresh slide, so that's fine. It's okay. Because what I'm looking for is actually bigger than these little dudes. So, oh, there's a second thing I'm looking for. That is plants that move. Did you know there was such a thing? Plants that are self-propelled, that move themselves through the water? I had no idea such a thing even existed. I find that concept completely fascinating, and I found one like the first day. I don't know that I filmed it. I couldn't find a recording of it, so I don't think I filmed it. It's probably when I was still getting used to the recording software. But yeah, we saw this little rectangular long algae thing that was propelling itself, swimming itself through the water. Like, it was not an animal, it was a plant. And it wasn't just a lump of plant cells like this algae we're looking at. It was a very, very structured individual plant that was propelling itself through the water. Fascinating stuff. I had no idea that even. That's just blows my mind. Didn't know that existed. So I'm looking for those. They seem to be pretty rare. I only saw one so far. See, there's not much in these samples. This is the moss I collected that was growing directly on concrete. And I haven't found much in them. Just a bunch of little bugs. Is this moving? That's the thing about this moss too, is that you never know when there's a thing underneath it hiding from me, because it knows I'm looking. Not really. It's probably just like it likes the light, so it's trying to get the light. I can't tell if there's anything under there or not. But, yeah. So I was kind of disappointed to find basically nothing in these samples, but it was worth a look again. And there's actually more life in here. Like I said though, that could be cross-contamination, because I didn't exactly clean the slide before it, or use a fresh slide. Just kind of reusing the same couple slides. Mhm. Little things floating on the surface. I still look at it sometimes, to see if it's moving. Sometimes it's a worm or something, like we saw earlier. Oh look, a rotifer. I'm really good at spotting these little guys, because they look like little flowers sticking out from the moss, you know? Oh, it's not a rotifer. Is it? It really kind of looked like one. Is it? No, I don't think it is. Damn, I was totally wrong. Huh. Huh. Okay, it was a look-alike. Didn't it? It kind of looked like a rotifer sticking out. Little flowers sticking off of the moss. Because they're stuck to it and they're sitting there with their little heads cleaning the water. Little little wheels. Oh look, a lumpy thing. Hey, what's going on, buddy? What's going on, Mr. Lumpy? Make you bigger. Oh, don't swim away. I'm trying to film you. Lumpy thing. You know you're my friend. He looks like a little snail. He's like a little microscopic snail. Eh, it's going too fast for the second objective, or even the first. Oh, oh, there's your buddy. Your buddy. Two lumpy things. I really like this moss. You really like this moss, don't you? Little lumpy things. Damn, you guys are hard to follow when you are crawling around on this stuff. There you are. Couple of lumpy things right there. Hey, don't run over your buddy. That's not nice. I don't know what it is. Somebody needs to tell me what it is, because I have no idea. I don't know how to search for the lumpy thing on the internet. So if somebody knows what this lumpy thing is, please tell me. I don't know if you see him. He's right there in the middle. He's moving. And he's lumpy. And he's got little hairs. Uh, and he's cleaning something. Or he's eating or something. I don't know what he's doing. It looks like he's full of food to me. Looks like he's doing pretty good. Don't it make you feel nice? Yeah, I'm wearing it down. I know. He's pretty cool though. See what I mean by snail? See, he looks like a little snail to me. He's got like, see that like spirally pattern? Like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. He's lumpy. He's cute. He's got little hairs. And he cleans the water. Or something. Little lumpy thing. He's pretty cute. Just kind of lumping around in a circle there with his little hairs, all kind of gyrating, cleaning things, sucking up the water, you know, doing things that micro animals do, I guess. I'm actually pretty shocked to find these guys in here because the first time I found anything really interesting in this particular sample. Even though it's more of the same, it's still good. So I gotta find more moss. Some lichens would be nice. I'm liking lichens pretty well, you know. They're pretty good. Anyway, that guy's pretty interesting. Oh, I need to get some more paper towels. I'll be right back. Alright. Clean off this slide. And I'll look at one more sample. More of the same, I guess. But different area of the sample. A lot of water in this sample, and it's actually a pretty large sample that I'm setting up right now. Alright. So I'm going to take the slide off. Place it with another slide. Alright. Here we go. What do we got? What's in here? Got any bugs? Anything interesting? Well, there's something swimming. Alright, let's go to the top. Let's go to the top and go across. Focus you. Focusing is a constant thing. I'm trying to move the stage and focus at the same time. With one hand, actually. Focus there. Not much interesting. Oh, is that a dead thing or is that sand? Nope, that's sand. Looks like a few little parameciums swimming around. Looks like another detached worm or another paramecium. I can't tell. Yeah, those guys. I swear, you guys are a little bit crazy. You're a little bit loopy in the head, you know? What head you got? Less than a cell's worth of head and brain in there, you know? So, yeah, that's what we're dealing with. Little guys swimming around doing a dance. Yep, it's a little guys. Normally I take the sample from this main like patch of moss that's in here. And I get a lot of worms and other soft body things. Oh look, there's a swimming worm-like thing. See that? Right there. And of course he's going to be hard to track too. But he's not going very fast. He's just swimming in all the different levels of focus, of depth of field here. But yeah, little swimmy worm. Worm-like thing, whatever it was. Whatever it was. Looks like nobody's watching this stream except one person, and I can suspect who that is. And then the other person, which is me. And then we had a third person that, dropped off, figured this was boring, figured I've seen enough of this boring shit, you know, my attention span ain't long enough for this. This amateur with a microscope don't know what the fuck he doing. Just coming over here and putting drops on a slide, thinking he knows what he's talking about and shit. I don't know what I'm talking about. I know a couple little critters that I can identify. Like this worm over here. What you doing, worm? Being a worm, you know, bottom feeding. It's what worms do. That's why I expect to find dead things around by the worms. Oh look, another worm. Technically, a lot of this plant material is dead. Some of it's still alive, some of it's still able to photosynthesize. That looks like a dead worm to me. Jiggle, jiggle. I shake the table and I jiggle the slide. See if it's dead. This looks delicious. You're munching on that, whatever that is. It's great. Yeah, I just had dinner times too. Spaghetti, sausage, and ice cream for dessert. You get maybe some kind of plant material that is floating on the surface that is 5,000 times bigger than your body, and you're just gonna eat it anyway. Because you're just a little bug. I mean, little friends in here swimming around, eating the moss. That's what they do. That's what they do. So I'm about ready to wrap this up. Unless I find something really interesting in here. I'm looking for water bears. If you know anybody who knows what kind of lichens or mosses or where I gotta go to get some water bears, I don't know. I gotta go to some trails and some rivers. Go look for some water bears. You know? Because I ain't finding them this way. Not any water bears in. Got some little paramecium looking things. Yeah. That looks like some sort of foreign object that I do not know how to identify. What else we got here? Things floating on the surface. No, those are scratches on the bottom of the slide. That's what that is. Scratches on the bottom of the slide. Coming to the bottom of this. There's another blue thing. This drop here, the bottom of this drop. Getting to the bottom of the drop. Oh, there's the edge of the slide. Look at this drop goes all the way to the edge here. All those little bugs are just like, hey, how did I get inside this aquarium? So that's pretty much it for now. I think it was a pretty long stream. Um, maybe next time I find a sample, I will stream again or produce a pre-produced video. like regular, you know. Bye.